Breaking this morning, President Trump has just landed in Beijing for a high stakes summit with Chinese President Xi Jinping, their most important face to face meeting since Trump returned to the White House. The president and over 12 top business executives are expected to meet with the Chinese president. It's the first state visit of a sitting U.S. president to China since President Trump's last visit in 2017. Thanks for joining us this Wednesday morning. I'm Vanessa Broussard. The president just stepped off Air Force One minutes ago. He was greeted on the tarmac by the Chinese vice president and other Chinese dignitaries. A red carpet was rolled out for President Trump. Let's listen in. The talks are expected to shape trade, technology, Taiwan policy, and global stability for the rest of 2026. Trade war and tariffs are expected to dominate the summit. The U.S. and China remain locked in a fragile trade truce after tariffs soared above 100% during last year's escalation. President Trump is reportedly pushing large Chinese purchases of U.S. agriculture, Boeing aircraft deals, rare earth mineral access, and a possible new Board of Trade framework. China wants to reduce U.S. tariffs, relief from export controls, and fewer restrictions on advanced technology exports. Insiders expect modest agreements rather than a sweeping trade deal. And here's how the schedule will play out. Again, the president just arrived in Beijing moments ago. Tomorrow, the president meets with Xi. They will hold a bilateral meeting and then a state banquet tomorrow evening. Then on Friday, they will take a friendship photo, have a bilateral tea, then a bilateral lunch. And after lunch, the president will board Air Force One to return home to the United States. The president feels good about the upcoming meetings.
President Xi as it relates to the Iran war?
Well, I think number one, we're going to have a long talk about it. I think he's been relatively good, to be honest with you. You look at the blockade, no problems. They get a lot of their oil from that area. We've had no problem, and he's been a friend of mine. He's been somebody that we get along with, and I think you're going to see that good things are going to happen. This is going to be a very exciting trip. A lot of good things are going to happen. Mr. President.
A major backdrop to the summit is the ongoing Iran conflict. The U.S. wants China to help stabilize oil shipping routes and the Strait of Hormuz security. China depends heavily on Middle East oil imports. And the people of Iran, they're watching this summit very closely. We have Mona Jam with us this morning from the Iranian American community of North Texas. Mona, good to see you again. All eyes are on the meeting in China this week. Iran sure to be a topic. But unfortunately, you're here with a harsh reality this morning that there's an execution spree still going on under the terroristic regime. What can you tell us?
Hi, Vanessa. It's good to meet you again. So I would say while we were in the middle of the war, just starting March, the regime started to execute people. Among them were 8 members of the MEK, the main resistance unit inside the Iran, the same movement that exposed the regime nuclear deal. And then also about overall up to now about 19 dissident, and one of them was Amir Hussein. Also, he was 18 years old. And then during his trial, he said that I wanted to disarm the Revolutionary Guard, which is the same force that try to suppress people. And he said, I want to join the movement. So what you can see that, and alongside those 8 people that were executed, their combination of their group was young people that they were in their 30s, and then they were people that they were in their 50s and they were in prison for 4 or 5 years, and then the regime tried to have them confess on the TV, but they didn't. They just hold firm. And then just before their execution, 8 of them stand next to each other and sang a song that would say that we're gonna bring freedom to Iran, and we're gonna be victorious, and no matter what. So all that being said, all those dissidents, these movements, all together, that's the combination that they can act as a like engine for regime change in Iran that would eliminate all the threats for whole world.
And it's really sad, Mona, that this is still going on. You know, the people of Iran want freedom. They're coming out, they're letting their voices be heard, and they're still being executed for this. We have a video I want to show that you sent me of some of these, I guess, protesters of the current regime who were hanged because of their voices, and they wanted a better country for themselves and for their families, and they were executed because of it. Take a listen.
با من 1 2 3 اگر ایران خراب آباد و ویران است، اگر جان من و تو جان ایران است، اگر این خاک زیر سایه مرگ است، اگر داغ گلوله سهم گلبرگ است، الا برخیز و چون تندر مسلح کن سلاحت را، به پاگردان رزم آور تو بشکن سد راحت را، الا برخیز و چون تندر مسلح کن سلاحت را، به پاگردان رزم آور تو بشکن سد راحت را.
So, Mona, these men were gathered together in song. They sang a song before they were hanged. What were they saying there?
So it's kind of the sign that send a signal that we're gonna be armed, and we're gonna defeat this regime, and then we're gonna bring freedom. So you could see that I would say the third people from the left, he was Vahid Bani Amarian. He was a talented physicist, and he was graduated from one of the top university of Iran, KNTU, and he had engineering. The other had one of them was lawyer. They were like a top rat Iranian among the societies. And then their crime was only that they want regime change. They were part of the MEK. And Vahid was also said in one of his statements that we are the among the last generation that this regime executed. After that, Iran will be free. And that show the spirit of the nation, the courage of the people, the intent, that the feeling that people are fed up. They are just brought to the age. They are ready, and they have the capability to do regime change.
That's so very sad. And this goes to show just how fortunate and blessed we are here in America with a First Amendment right, freedom of speech, freedom to express our beliefs. But that's not the case in Iran. And Mona, we've had you on before to talk about this, and we've had other guests as well to talk about just how bad it is in Iran. And this is just another example. We have a picture too of the 6 prisoners who were holding signs. What is the message? What's the message behind this picture?
So look, inside the prison, they hold the sign of the Mariam Rajavi, which is the leader of this movement, which is the sharp contrast to the misogynist regime. She is a woman. They say in Iran, a woman cannot be a judge. Now she is the leader of this movement. She has a 10-point plan for the future of the Iran. And and then also there's a video that Vahid talk about her 10-point plan. And then in her 10-point plan, she wants women in future of Iran have the power to be among the leadership inside the government. She wants to separate of the religious, the church and the state. She wants a free market inside Iran. And holding that inside the prison, I mean, if you just have it inside your home, inside Iran, that's a huge crime. But holding that inside the prison, that just shows that how firm they are and how ready they are and other people to sacrifice their lives for freedom. And just don't think that we have like 8 of these resistance unit inside Iran. We have many of them. They are their, like, let's say, freedom fighters, and they are the like only ally for outside world. And if we stand with them, if the the Western government stand with them, stand with Iranian people and with this freedom fighter, you will see how quickly things will change.
It's really, really amazing to see the difference and the contrast between a free country and one that lives in a terroristic world, a communist world, terroristic world. It's just unbelievable and so sad. And I love when you come on and people like you do come on, because it raises awareness for Americans to know just how bad it is and why the Trump administration is doing what they're doing. It's since the last time you've been on, are you seeing, we talked about hope the last time you were on, if the Iranian people have hope when this war first started. Has that changed? Is there a mood change going on? Because it's been several weeks.
So that being said, I would say that with internet shutting down since February 28th, with like 10 or 12 days, it would be almost 3 months that internet is shut down. And then those execution. So if you look at it, don't think that those execution or those things that happen, it's like that people does not have a hope or regime is in power. No, that shows the amount of the fear this regime has from its own people. This regime thrives on crisis. If this regime does not have to deal with war, then it has to deal with its own people. Because look, since 2018, we have major uprising, each one coming deeper, harder than the other one. And then I'm pretty sure that we will have a next uprising very harder and deeper. And then also people realize they just don't need to come on the street and protest. What they realize that they need to have guns. And in many cases, they manage to disarm the Revolutionary Guards. So what we can do is just standing with them and supporting them, recognize their right to change the regime, recognize their right to disarm the Revolutionary Guard and bring freedom to Iran.
Absolutely. And you're letting your voices be heard here in America. You're raising awareness. There have been protests against the current regime, marches in support of Iran, and there's another big one planned. This is a recent one that we have video we're showing right now of a recent march in support of the people of Iran. A big one planned for this weekend in Washington, D.C. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so it's gonna be a big rally. There are going to be thousands of the people in front of the Capitol. They're gonna start to march toward the White House, and their main message is stop execution in Iran and chanting for like non-nuclear democratic Iran. And it's a way to generate attention, and we'll see.
Absolutely. And we encourage everyone who is in the Washington, D.C. area to go out and support the people of Iran and pray for freedom for these people who are going through so much, losing family members, losing their own lives, and becoming prisoners just for wanting some freedom and some rights. Your website, we've had it on the screen, Mona, the entire interview, but I want people to really follow this website and updates and get involved. It's IAC.org. What can we find when we go to this website?
So OIAC is like an umbrella. All of the Iranian American organizations are under this umbrella, and all of our events that we have within our states, all the events we had on Capitol and DC are going to be posted here, and all of the statements and news. And it's like cover all the states of the United States, because we have so many sister communities in different states.
There you have it. That's the website again to spell it out. It's oiac.org. We encourage everyone to visit the website, and also, if you can, attend the big rally, support Iran this weekend in Washington, D.C. Mona, always a pleasure to have you on. Thanks so much for stopping by this morning.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Anti-war protesters stormed the Capitol during Secretary of War Pete Hegseth's budget hearing. Our cameras caught this one. This one protester being arrested in the hallway. Another being escorted from inside right behind Pete Hegseth. Watch.
The Iranian American community is against this illegal war, and if you accept and if you approve this budget, you will complicit in the war crime of this administration.
If I may interject, I ask that we have order in the hearing room so we can proceed.
So you have anti-war protesters. Hegseth was defending the Trump administration proposed $1.5 trillion Pentagon budget while facing intense bipartisan questioning over the Iran conflict, military readiness, and war spending.
The $1.5 trillion budget will ensure that the United States continues to maintain the most capable military in the most complex of environments. Not to mention, however, that this budget also includes a historic troop pay increase, 7%, that builds on the pay increases that Congress has given in previous years. And the budget eliminates all poor or failing barracks. Quality of life for our troops is front and center in this budget. By supercharging our industrial capacity and transforming how the department does business, we are restoring American commercial dominance at a pace unseen in generations, transforming the defense industrial base from the broken, slow-moving systems of the past.
And as things always do in Washington, it got a little heated at times.
But are on the verge of a strategic loss because we are now negotiating.
I just think it's so foolish.
demand.
Here we are in a committee in the United States Senate, 74 days in, and you're talking about strategic loss. We have the ability to
74
defeat a
days in.
47-year threat of a pursuit of a nuclear weapon. We have more leverage than we've ever had. We've had incredible battlefield successes, and you're talking about a strategic loss,
Mr.
cloaked in
Secretary.
disingenuous questions.
Mr. Secretary.
This is how you
Mr.
undercut
Secretary.
efforts that could otherwise and are otherwise
I am
being
not
very
your
effective.
enemy.
Hegseth wasn't the only one on the Hill yesterday. FBI Director Kash Patel, he faced a fiery Senate hearing on his leadership and allegations of excessive drinking, allegations from a fake news article, and the left crying because he celebrated with a beer in the Team USA hockey team's locker room in the 2026 Winter Olympics. They won gold against Canada. He popped a cold one. Who wouldn't? But Dems forget about this. Remember this, when Democrat Congressman Chris Van Hollen met with criminal illegal alien Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Van Hollen flew to Venezuela to have lunch and look at the table. A nice cold margarita on the rocks with Garcia. Hollen didn't care that he's a criminal or that he's here illegally. He traveled to meet with him to advocate for his release back into the United States. Well, Van Hollen tried to point the finger at Kash Patel yesterday. Kash Patel said, "Not today, Satan." Watch.
Lawsuits. So today, as you testify before Congress, is it your testimony that those allegations are categorically false?
Unequivocally, categorically false.
So there have been no occasions during your tenure when FBI personnel were unable to promptly reach you?
Absolutely not. You can ask my entire workforce. They hear from me at every single hour of the day, as do these great gentlemen here, as do the men and women of the interagency and state and local law enforcement and the White House.
And so there have been no occasions when your security detail had difficulty waking or locating you. Is that right?
Nope, it's a total farce. I don't even know where you get this stuff, but it doesn't make it credible because you say so.
I'm not saying it, Director Patel. It's been written and documented.
You are literally saying it.
No, I'm saying that these are reports, Director Patel.
No,
And
unlike
I
your
will
baseless
say,
reports,
Director
the only person
Patel,
that was slinging margaritas in El Salvador on the taxpayer dollar with a convicted gangbanging rapist was you.
You know, the
only
fact
person that ran up a
Director
$7,000 bar tab in Washington, D.C. at the
this
lobby
suggests
bar
to me-
was you.
this
so the only
suggests
individual in
to
this
me
room
the
that has
allegations
been drinking
are true.
on taxpayer dime during
Are
the day
you polygraphing?
is you.
Director Patel, come on. These are serious allegations that were made against you.
The
They're in a
allegations
lawsuit
are
that you
false.
filed.
You drinking margaritas with a gangbangers
Actually,
through and on
it
video.
just goes to show you
running a
this
$7,000
goes-
bar tab at the lobby bar
Director Patel,
has been filed by your own
this
office.
goes to show-
drink during the day. That's you.
Mr.
This is
Chairman,
the ultimate example of hypocrisy.
Chairman,
I will not be tarnished by baseless allegations
let me
and
ask
fraudulent
questions.
statements from the media.
The fact that you mentioned that indicates you don't know what you are talking about. Now, here, Director
The only thing I
Patel,
know is you're the one drinking margaritas with felons.
Actually, that's a false statement, and I'm asking you about your statements.
I've answered that.
And I'm asking you about a particular...
He says those are false statements. Well, we have the picture right here. Who was drinking the margaritas if they weren't? Kash Patel says he has a receipt of the taxpayer money spent on that trip. But all this boils down to is that the Dems can't find anything wrong, so they make stuff up, like believing fake news articles and slapping Patel's wrist for celebrating a Team USA gold medal. The truth is, the FBI is doing great work. Field teams are out investigating and making arrests. Kash Patel released this video just moments before his hearing.
We are the folks that are responsible for safeguarding America.
The FBI says it has prevented a potential terror attack planned for Halloween weekend.
The FBI did a great job getting on this case very early.
FBI agents stopped an ISIS terror plot aimed at taking out the military base.
The FBI and state police raided his home in Melvindale.
The FBI arrested a New Iberia resident that they say is part of a group that planned a New Year's Eve terrorist attack.
The Turtle Island Liberation Front. They were just weeks away from this major terrorist attack on New Year's Eve when the FBI caught them red-handed.
These bombs were to blow up at the same time on midnight this New Year's Eve.
We're going into communities, we're using our undercover resources, we're using our online covert employees to root these folks out.
A brazen plan to attack part of Nashville's power grid stopped just in time.
Felipe drove with undercover FBI agents to a substation and ordered a plastic explosive device from them.
Federal authorities say they have thwarted a plot being hatched right here in North Texas to blow up a building in Fort Worth.
The Afghan national arrested for making terroristic threats.
The FBI became aware of the suspect the day after the video was posted on TikTok.
We have 10 agencies just to ingest all of the information on social media and everywhere else about people being attacked and responding to that in record time.
This is a federal investigation called Operation Grayskull that shut down 4 of the largest child abuse websites on the dark web.
A Metro man is among hundreds of people arrested in a federal effort to track down child predators.
Over the last 2 weeks, the FBI arrested 293 child sexual abuse offenders.
More than 200 child sex victims were found this month during Operation Relentless Justice.
If you harm our children, you will be given no sanctuary. There is no place we will not come to hunt you down. In 1 year, in 14 months with President Trump, this FBI has done more than the prior 2 guys combined. And this is what happens when you let good cops be cops.
That's a quick snapshot of everything the FBI is doing. But yet Van Hollen wants to talk about, again, the locker room celebration when Team USA won the gold. Maybe he should celebrate the successes instead of finding fault. But we support our law enforcement. Anyone with common decency does. We also support our veterans. While a war is going on, we're reminded that our brave men and women will eventually come home. And that's when they need our help and our support the most. Here with us today is Purple Heart recipient Lucas Semanier. Lucas, it's an honor to have you. Thank you so much for your service, first and foremost. You have started a company to help our veterans. I want to talk about that today because you are truly a hero. You have served, and now you are helping all of the others who have served. So tell us about your company.
Thank you for having me, and good morning. ThatClaims.ai. It's a company that I started in late 2024 and has quickly grown to be the nation's leader in helping veterans navigate the VA claims process. In the past 12 months alone, we've helped over 50,000 veterans navigate this process, created over 360 veteran jobs, and it's really just the beginning. What we've done is take a really inundated system that is really just blocked by bureaucracy, right? As many of you know already, and made it simple, right? Made it as simple as it can be. and helping veterans fill in the gaps in their medical records, making sure they transition properly.
And Lucas, you know this. You go overseas, you fight on the front lines for everything America stands for, and you come home, and it's so hard for these veterans to find jobs. And you probably have seen this and witnessed this firsthand, which is why you started to do what you do. Tell us a little bit about the reality it is, because again, you have witnessed this.
The reality is the hard part, and I think it's unfortunately what gets hidden to Congress most of all. Most of the veterans that do make it into Congress happen to be officers, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a big difference between the officer transition pathway out and the enlisted person's transition out. One of the simplest ways to break this down is when an officer gets out, they're typically worried about where they're going to go get their MBA. When an enlisted person gets out, they're typically worried about not being homeless. You just don't make enough money, you don't have the college education, and the job skills very rarely tend to translate. In my case, I was a cavalry scout in the Army. I was in the 82nd Airborne Division. And when I got out of the military after 3 years and being wounded, my job qualifications were that of being a combat janitor, if you will, right? I was really good at cleaning latrines and I was really good at going to war. But that's pretty hard to market when you get home. And so I found myself battling homelessness, living in my car, trying to find stability, not understanding how to access VA benefits, not knowing what was there to help me actually go get to stability, right? And that's really what predicated me building this company and inspired me to do so. Is I want to get more veterans to a place of stability so that they can take bets on themselves. After World War II, veterans proved to be the backbone of this country when it came to starting small businesses, rebuilding the economy, creating jobs. And I think we're going to continue to need the same from this generation. But right now, that transition path is just too blurry.
It's blurry and it's a slow moving process. And correct me if I'm wrong. When you're dealing with the VA, I've heard from veterans before, Lucas, who say, they've contacted the VA and it's taking months to get any type of response or any type of action. They may throw them a little bone here and there, and then they move on to the next step, and then that takes more months to get any movement, and it's just a long process. And in the meantime, these veterans are just left living day to day trying to figure out what to do next.
Yes, I mean, inherently, this is the beauty of socialized healthcare, right? That is the VA in a nutshell. I think there's amazing people that work within the VA and they try their best. But the rules, the bureaucracy, the policies, even with these community care-based programs where veterans can go, if the VA can't get them in a certain amount of time, then they can go seek care out in the community. Those approval processes can be 3 months in and of itself. And when you're talking about chronic pain, nerve pain, conditions that started in combat, it's not an acceptable system. It's untenable. The other part of this that, has just been such a huge miss that I don't hear people talk about is when it comes to psychology within the VA, right? Many veterans, one of the most tried and true stories is they'll go to the VA, they'll, say, I'm going to take a step and take care of myself and go to a psych. And then what happens is they talk to one therapist, they think they've built a relationship, they think they're going to be able to make progress. But the turnover rate at the VA is so high that they never get the same therapist, meaning, you essentially would have to go unpack these wounds, these traumatic wounds, every single time. And it's just an untenable system in its current state.
When you think about the war going on right now, Lucas, and what these brave men and women are encountering on the front lines, you've been there. What's going through their minds right now? They're away from family. They're fighting for our country. They're fighting for another country as well to bring them freedom. What do you think it's like? What's going through their minds right now?
Well, I think it's an amazing question because what's going through their minds is nothing beside the person to their left and their right and getting home and fighting the fight, achieving their mission. It is the American people's responsibility. And most of all, I would say it's veterans like myself's responsibility to think about what happens to them when they do get home, because that's not what they're thinking about right now. And that's why it's such a blind spot.
Right. And that's why we have people like you who are thinking ahead to when they do get home. So tell us about your company. I know you've helped so many different veterans. What all do you provide?
So the big thing that VetClaims.ai addresses is what we call the benefits gap. The benefits gap is a product of a kind of the cultural system within the military, right? Every service member, no matter what branch they're in, they can go to sick call, they can go to the doctors whenever they need, in quotations. The thing about it is when they go to sick call, they can get stigmatized, they can get hazed, they could get bullied. It's a machismo thing. It's a combat effectiveness and readiness thing. For one reason or another, that's just the way it is in almost every branch. That being said, the big thing that happens is veterans get out of the or service members get out of the military with more things wrong with them than they have receipts for, if you will. Where VetClaims.ai comes in is we substantiate all those missing pieces, right? We do this by scanning EPA reports, base housing reports, general medical etiology, and connecting things together with peer-reviewed medical journals, as well as uploaded documents that are contributed from the veteran population at large. And it's become this incredibly powerful tool where, I got hurt in a certain place or I was exposed to a certain thing, but no, I didn't go to sick call because I would have lost flight status or XYZ. And now the VA tells me it's not service connected. Sometimes it's as simple as something like someone who is a tanker, right? The VA says, oh, well, you don't have any documented knee injuries. Why would you have bad knees? And we simply have to explain to the VA how tall an M1A1 Abrams tank is, and then explain to them that, this soldier was jumping on and off of that tank 6 to 7 times a day. That kind of impact in boots is like the equivalent of a car accident. And that right then, the VA is like, oh, I can see how you hurt your knees. And that takes a 10-year path of denials into something that's solved within 6 weeks.
I'm glad you said that, the magic word, denials, because nothing aggravates me more, Lucas, is when these veterans are denied their benefits. And that's the fight I was just trying to hint at when I said that it takes so long to get an answer, and then they get an answer, but it's not really the answer they need, and then they have to wait even longer, but it's that denial. No veteran should ever be denied after everything that they've gone through in combat. And again, that's why we are so blessed in so many different ways to have you, not only as a veteran, but also for the work that you're doing and helping these vets. How can people contact you and get involved? Because there may be a lot of people watching right now who have veterans in their families looking for help. And you also mentioned, one example of how a veteran could help their needs, but a lot of times, these veterans come home and they're not seeing anything until maybe months or years later. PTSD, things of that sort may not trigger them until a long time after they come home, but you're there to help every step of the way.
Yes, thank you so much. And they can find us at vetclaims.ai or me personally, Lucas Simoner, on all social media channels. We're going to be building a lot more things that help veterans throughout the life cycle. This is merely step one of what I want to achieve for helping veterans pursue the American dream once they get back.
Absolutely. And already tell us how many veterans you've helped. This is a big number to report.
Over 50,000 in the last year alone, which is incredibly exciting.
Yes, you are an angel on earth. Thank you so much for everything you do. Again, thank you for your service, for helping our veterans. I hope everyone goes to your website, contacts you on social media. One more time, give us the website so people can contact you.
Vetclaims.ai.
Vetclaims.ai. There's the website right there. Yes, Lucas, good to have you on the show today. Again, thank you so much for your service.
Thank you, Vanessa.
Happening today, whistleblower testimony on the COVID cover-up. This is going to be a big one. Senator Rand Paul is holding a Senate Homeland Security Committee hearing today. The central witness is expected to be a longtime CIA officer turned whistleblower who allegedly worked on an intelligence review into COVID's origins. Now, according to Rand Paul, the whistleblower plans to testify that the CIA suppressed internal findings, favoring the Wuhan lab leak theory. Intelligence officials allegedly monitored or spied on members of the review group and key COVID origin documents were allegedly withheld from Congress and also the public. Senator Paul says this whistleblower will expose a years-long government cover-up. That testimony begins in less than an hour. Stay with Lindell TV for updates throughout the morning. Also, Kevin Warsh has been confirmed to the Federal Reserve Board. It was a 51-45 Senate approval. Now, this clears a major hurdle for Warsh to become the next Fed chair to replace Jerome "Too Late" Powell. Powell's term as chair, it expires on Friday. Warsh is President Trump's pick. A major shakeup at the Federal Reserve is coming. And we have more to come here on My Mornings. When we come back, Maha Moms, the role of mothers in the house, and how First Lady Melania Trump is celebrating in her quest to foster youth. That's coming up next. But first, we continue to celebrate our law enforcement this National Police Week.
During National Police Week, our nation gathers to honor the courage, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment of our law enforcement officers, including the department's brave police forces. Today and every day, we pay tribute to the men and women in uniform who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. Their bravery will never be forgotten. As we commemorate this Police Week, let us stand together, not only in remembrance of the fallen, but in support for those who serve today and for the families who stand beside them. May we never forget the sacrifices made, and may we always honor the badge with respect, gratitude, and unity.
Welcome to Vocal, the free speech social app that gives you a platform to amplify your voice, speak freely, connect boldly, and be part of a growing movement for truth, faith, and freedom. Want to know what's happening right now? The Now Playing feature shows you exactly who's live and what's streaming in real time. Check out the show's feed, a non-stop lineup including LINDELLTV News 24/7, shows and on-demand programming all in one place. Connect with your favorite host and never miss a show. Explore the featured page for quick access to LINDELLTV's top shows. Follow your favorites and watch their newest content flow right into your feed. And when they go live on Vocal, you can join the live chat and be part of the action. Ask questions, share your thoughts, even help shape future shows. Stay informed on issues around securing our elections by following your state's Cause of America account. Join a group and connect on a deeper level, from faith and freedom to the future of our nation. Go to vocal.com or download the app today and be a part of the mission to save our country.
It's finally here, our second annual mega sale. This sale only comes around once a year, so take advantage of the best offers ever while you can. For example, save 50% on our Giza Dream bed sheets, as low as $29.98. And for the first time ever on TV, MyPillow mattresses and MyPillow mattress toppers, as low as $99.98. And you save 50% on our Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets, regular $69.98. Now only $39.98. And our best-selling standard MyPillows, regular $49.98, on sale for $17.98. Wait on it, mega sale, only $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But wait, there's more. To make the mega sale even more special, when you order right now, your order's going to ship absolutely free.
When you read one news source, you get one side. When you read two sources, you get an argument. Read 40 sources, and you get the truth. LindellReport.com, the only place you ever need to visit for your news. From Lindell TV, over 40 trusted outlets in one place. No editorial gatekeepers, no hidden bias. Just the day's news. Balanced, unfiltered, ready when you are. Whether you lean left, right, or straight down the middle, this is where you start your day. One click, one feed, one truth. The decision is yours. LindellReport.com. The news you need, the balance you deserve.
Too many pharmacies and insurance companies are blocking the medications that actually work. That's why I recommend All Family Pharmacy. They give you access to treatments like ivermectin now, starting at just $2 a capsule. They also have methylene blue, hydroxychloroquine, and so much more. They're helping you stay prepared, and they've dropped their prices by 25%. Also use promo code LINDELL10, you save even more. Go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell. Use promo code LINDELL10 and get the medicine you need.
The Trump administration has been putting a major emphasis on motherhood, on fertility, and also on family-focused policies this year, framing moms as central to rebuilding American families. It's the center point for a lot of discussions all across the country. Riley Gaines, for example, she's pushing the importance of moms.
Why resources like moms.gov are so incredibly important, because what they're doing is they're equipping moms. They're strengthening moms. And when you strengthen moms, you strengthen families. And when you strengthen families, you strengthen communities. And when you strengthen communities, you change the culture. And when you change the culture, you win America. That's what this is about.
And as we reported this week, some of the biggest moves include launching moms.gov, expanding access to fertility and IVF, and promoting family-centered messaging about parental rights.
Proud to be part of an administration that wants to make America welcoming and friendly to motherhood again. We had two administrations that were unfriendly to motherhood, and now we've got an administration where we have a president who wants mothers who want babies to have them and to do everything that the government can do in its power to make that easy and an agreeable process for moms.
The White House has heavily leaned into messaging that mothers are the foundation of strong families. And to go along with that, First Lady Melania Trump is showing success in her foster youth program. She has established a foster youth fund, which will ensure that up to $32 million in federal funds goes to foster and adoption services. Now, when it comes to the food that we eat, the MAHA movement has been looking into the hidden chemicals inside. Going to the grocery store, we think we're buying something healthy, but is it really healthy? A new investigation is underway.
Hi, I'm Robert F. Kennedy Jr., your HHS secretary. Today, we're taking action to strengthen the safety of the American food supply. Families deserve safe food. At HHS, we set that standard and we enforce it. The FDA will, for the first time, continuously review chemicals already in our food, replacing a decades-old system with continuous oversight for the first time. We will evaluate the science on an ongoing basis. We'll identify the risks earlier and will act when necessary to protect the public health. We'll make our findings public. The American people have a right to see the data and understand the decisions and hold us accountable. We are also reevaluating two widely used food chemicals, BHT and ADA. BHT preserves fats and oils and appears in cereals, frozen foods, and packaged snacks. ADA is used in flour processing and appears in bread products and food contact materials. These substances are widely used, but that does not establish safety. We are taking a fresh look at that question. We're requesting data from researchers, industry, and the public through a formal request for information posting. If you have evidence on how these chemicals are used or how they affect human health, submit it through the Federal Register at regulations.gov. We will review the evidence and act based upon the science. We have also built a new prioritization tool to identify which chemicals require urgent review and to direct our resources where they matter most. We will publish a running list of chemicals under review so the public can track our work and see our decisions. This approach replaces a static system with continuous oversight. It replaces limited visibility with full transparency. It allows us to identify risks earlier and act before harm occurs. At HHS, we follow the evidence, we make our work visible, and we act to protect the American people. Under President Trump's leadership, We're raising the standard for food safety in this country, which is how we make America healthy again.
And one of the biggest focuses is the FDA's review on food generally recognized as safe, which Kennedy says has allowed thousands of ingredients and chemicals into foods without enough independent review. Kennedy has targeted artificial food dyes, ultra-processed foods, and microplastics. Now, broader investigations on how chemicals contribute to chronic disease, obesity, and childhood health issues. So we'll keep you updated on the MAHA movement. And we have more news to come when we come back, including another question from LINDELLTV to Senator John Thune about the Save America Act. That's next.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% U.S.-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
America's founders warned that without knowledge and virtue, no nation can remain free. Yet through the steady infiltration of Marxist ideology, we have been stripped of both, and we are no longer a moral and educated people. To save America, we must spark nothing less than a national renaissance. That's why you need Freedom Talk Magazine, the journal of truth and virtue. We cultivate enlightened thinking and principled living, offering unique insights into the issues and remarkable people defining our world. Sign up today for your free subscription to Freedom Talk Magazine and join the new American Renaissance.
You know, most people think water's just about filtration, but in reality, it's about balance. What gets removed, what gets left behind, and how the water actually behaves once you drink it. Well, many traditional systems focus on one thing, removal. Reverse osmosis, for example, strips water down completely. It may sound ideal, but it removes minerals that our bodies need. The Century Wellness System was designed with a different philosophy. It removes common contaminants like chlorine, fluoride, and PFAS while restoring key minerals like magnesium and improving alkalinity. It also does all this without tanks and without wastewater and without requiring a complicated installation. It installs in about 15 minutes under your sink, so instead of overcorrecting, it brings your water back into balance. Please visit CenturyH2O.com and use promo code Lindell for 10% off your next purchase. Well, hello, everyone. Well, I'm turning 65, and let me tell you, Medicare has me confused. All the junk mail and the robocalls and everything else, it honestly feels like they rigged the system just to confuse us. Well, that's why I partnered and working with Chapter. They're independent, and they don't work for big insurance. They work for us. In fact, they're the only advisor that compares every single plan nationwide to find what actually fits your needs. If you're on the right plan, they tell you. If you're not, they're going to help you switch. And it's completely free. Just last year, seniors saved about $1,100 by finding a better plan with Chapter. So call Chapter at 234-LINDELL or go to askchapter.org/Lindell. Mike Lindell here. The radical left and the deep state aren't just coming for our freedoms, they're coming after our money too. For years, they've been destroying our economy from the inside out with reckless spending, open borders, woke policies that crush our businesses. And now they've left us with an inflation disaster that's wiping out the savings of our hardworking families. They don't want us to be independent. They want us to be dependent on the government. Well, that's not going to happen on my watch. That's why I partner with American Independence Gold. It's a veteran-owned company that's helping patriotic Americans fight back by protecting our savings with real physical gold and silver. And right now, they're giving away up to $15,000 in free silver and a free gold IRA kit. A portion of all the profits go to 9/11 first responders and veterans at the Tunnels to Towers Foundation. The deep state can't touch your gold, so visit MikeLindellGold.com or call 844-714-4653 right now. That's MikeLindellGold.com. Take back control.
Taking a look at how markets are opening today, looking at opening bell numbers from MarketWatch.com. The Dow, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ all down at this hour. Investors are closely watching President Trump's trip to China. Tech stocks are leading today, especially companies tied to AI. Markets are also watching new producer price index inflation data that's coming out this morning. And also, like every day, we're watching those oil prices. They remain elevated amid Iran tensions. The market closed down yesterday, and already this morning at opening bell, we're seeing some red. So hopefully things will bounce back by the end of the day. Now to your news to go, a quick glimpse of the headlines. We are still hammering away at Senator John Thune on the Save America Act. Our Allison Steinberg hitting him with another question yesterday on the Hill.
Leader Thune, where are Senate Republicans at currently on getting the Save America Act passed? There was quite a bit of momentum on that a few weeks back. It seems like it sort of dwindled despite overwhelming support from the American people. Where do you stand on that currently, and would you reconsider getting rid of the filibuster to get it across the finish line?
We don't have the votes to get rid of the filibuster. We called it up on the floor March, I think, 17th. We were on it for several weeks and had a very spirited debate. In fact, I think with the exception of maybe a couple of Republican senators, made more speeches on the floor in support of the SAVE Act than almost any other senator. And we had some votes on it. And we voted on the narrow issue, which is the most popular one, of voter ID. And we put the Democrats on the record. Every single Democrat voted against it. We added, and one of the other elements, also popular, was whether or not biological boys ought to play in girls' sports. We had that vote, and every Democrat voted against that as well. So we've taken what I think are probably the two issues, in my view, that have the broadest public support and put the Democrats on record, and every single one of them voted against it. So we'll look for opportunities to get other votes. There was a vote on the budget resolution, an amendment that Senator Kennedy offered that didn't even get 50 votes on the floor. And so we're continuing to look for opportunities to advance that legislation. Obviously, it's something that I support. I think we all support, and we think it's something that the American people are broadly supportive as well.
After Thune's response, Congressman Chip Roy of Texas came out and said he's pushing for a vote next week on the Save America Act. Also on the Hill yesterday, and not making much headlines, a big win for shrimpers. The U.S. House has officially passed the Save Our Shrimpers Act. It's a bill aimed at protecting American shrimpers from foreign competition. The legislation, introduced by Troy Nehls, blocks foreign shrimp farming and also foreign shrimp processing projects. It now heads to the Senate for a vote. Also, new video coming in on President Trump's arrival in Beijing. He was greeted at the top of the hour by Chinese dignitaries. After exiting Air Force One, the president briefly gave his signature fist pump to the assembled military honor guard that you see there. Also, the Chinese youth flag wavers. The president is going to his hotel right now and will prepare for long meetings tomorrow with Chinese President Xi. We'll have full coverage of that tomorrow morning, and also on LINDELLTV.com. You can find the latest there. You can also download the Lindell TV app. It's free in your app store. Now to our Bible verse of the day, coming from the book of Romans. The Bible says this: "For I am not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God for salvation to everyone who believes, to the Jews first, and also to the Greek." That is coming from the book of Romans. If you are online today, make sure you give me a follow. I'm always there. A reminder to follow me on social media: X, Vocal, Truth Social, Instagram, YouTube. There are all of my handles right there. Give me a follow. Also on Rumble and Facebook as well. But YouTube, you can subscribe to my channel. We're live there every morning, always posting new videos there as well. But make sure you're following me on social media. Send me a message. Love connecting with our viewers. And that'll do it for us here this morning. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. And today we leave you with sights from West Virginia. Have a great day.
Welcome to Vocal, the free speech social app that gives you a platform to amplify your voice, speak freely, connect boldly, and be part of a growing movement for truth, faith, and freedom. Want to know what's happening right now? The Now Playing feature shows you exactly who's live and what's streaming in real time. Check out the show's feed, a non-stop lineup including LINDELLTV News 24/7, shows and on-demand programming all in one place. Connect with your favorite host and never miss a show. Explore the featured page for quick access to LINDELLTV's top shows. Follow your favorites and watch their newest content flow right into your feed. And when they go live on Vocal, you can join the live chat and be part of the action. Ask questions, share your thoughts, even help shape future shows. Stay informed on issues around securing our elections by following your state's Cause of America account. Join a group and connect on a deeper level, from faith and freedom to the future of our nation. Go to vocal.com or download the app today and be a part of the mission to save our country.
It's finally here, our second annual mega sale. This sale only comes around once a year, so take advantage of the best offers ever while you can. For example, save 50% on our Giza Dream bed sheets, as low as $29.98. And for the first time ever on TV, My Pillow mattresses and My Pillow mattress toppers, as low as $99.98. And you save 50% on our Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets, regular $69.98. Now only $39.98. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, regular $49.98, on sale for $17.98. Wait on it, mega sale, only $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But wait, there's more. To make the mega sale even more special, when you order right now, your order's going to ship absolutely free.
When you read one news source, you get one side. When you read two sources, you get an argument. Read 40 sources, and you get the truth. LindellReport.com, the only place you ever need to visit for your news. From LINDELLTV, over 40 trusted outlets in one place. No editorial gatekeepers, no hidden bias. Just the day's news. Balanced, unfiltered, ready when you are. Whether you lean left, right, or straight down the middle, this is where you start your day. One click, one feed, one truth. The decision is yours. LindellReport.com. The news you need, the balance you deserve.
Too many pharmacies and insurance companies are blocking the medications that actually work. That's why I recommend All Family Pharmacy. They give you access to treatments like ivermectin now, starting at just $2 a capsule. They also have methylene blue, hydroxychloroquine, and so much more. They're helping you stay prepared, and they've dropped their prices by 25%. Also use promo code LINDELL10, you save even more. Go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell. Use promo code LINDELL10 and get the medicine you need.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% U.S.-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
America's founders warned that without knowledge and virtue, no nation can remain free. Yet through the steady infiltration of Marxist ideology, we have been stripped of both, and we are no longer a moral and educated people. To save America, we must spark nothing less than a national renaissance. That's why you need Freedom Talk Magazine, the journal of truth and virtue. We cultivate enlightened thinking and principled living, offering unique insights into the issues and remarkable people defining our world. Sign up today for your free subscription to Freedom Talk Magazine and join the new American Renaissance.